I've now completed the opening section of Solzhenitsyn's Gulag Archipelago, really focusing on the process of arrest. And it may be time for me to step back before I keep going and take stock of where we are and how all of this relates to us. The really striking aspect of this first chapter is the arbitrariness of arrest, the fact that they come to your house, they grab you on the street, they just get you. And you notice that when they get you, they don't bother to say why. They don't bother to tell you you're being arrested for this, you're being arrested for that. No, if there are charges, you're informed of the charges only later, maybe when you're already in prison. So to the degree there's even the attempt to follow the proceedings of law, it's very thin. It's thinly veiled. It's as if they don't have to do it. And in fact, they don't have to do it. Now, that's the key point, that Solzhenitsyn is describing arrest in, I would call it, a fully mature, a full-fledged police state. And that is a key difference between the Soviet Union of Solzhenitsyn's day, which is the middle of the 20th century, the middle to the eventually also continuing to the second half of the 20th century before the Soviet Union collapses. We are in an emerging police state. We're in the early stages. And let's remember, in the early stages, a police state cannot afford to behave quite in the way that Solzhenitsyn's police state is behaving. Why? Because the police state has not established itself. It's not consolidated. It doesn't have full control of the society. When you have full control, you don't have to give anybody an explanation. Think, for example, about Stalin. Once his dictatorship is established, Stalin can wipe out his opponents. He can grab a professor on the street and have the guy butchered. And if anybody raises an objection, arrest them. Now, the United States cannot do this now. This is not to say the United States will never be able to do this ever, but it can't do it now. And so what it needs is two things. One is it needs a constituency to help build the police state. This is very important because it means that there are a lot of people right now who are not directly affected by the police state. This is a theme that will emerge in my film, Police State, because they're going to say things like, well, I'm never going to be censored on social media. I'm not going to be worried about the FBI banging down my door. And these people are right. They don't have to worry about that now. They don't have to worry about it now because they're on the left. And the left is they are the ones building the police state, the left and the Democrats. So as a result, the party of the police state is pretty safe. They are needed. The same thing with illegals. You wonder why illegals are treated so, almost generously. And the answer is the illegals are also needed to build the police state. Why? Because you need the illegals to transform the American population, to create a sustained political majority. The Democrats haven't had that kind of majority since the days of FDR. And so the country is too precariously poised right in the middle. It's divided 50-50. So the Democrats are, no, we need 60-40. We need 70-30. So let the illegals in droves. So they are building the police state. And the second point about it is that while you're building the police state, you really need to follow kind of I would call it the facade of law. And this is why the Democrats are always talking about law. In fact, they sound like the party of law. No one is above the law. Yes, we have to go after Trump. It's not that we really want to, but it's our obligation because we can't allow anyone to be above the law. We're saving democracy. I mean, think about it. The people who are subverting democratic ideals, who are attacking our basic civil liberties, are posing as the party of democracy and the party of civil liberty. And so they will talk about the fact that, no, it's Republicans who are threatening our liberties. Look at the way the Republicans are going after abortion. Look at the way Republicans are going after gay rights and trans rights and so on. So the left, it is necessary for them to spout this kind of rhetoric. It's not necessary, by the way, for everyone to believe it, but it's necessary to spout the rhetoric because they need the time for the jaws of the police state to slam shut. So this is the point. When the jaws have slammed shut, then all pretenses are off. You don't need to engage in this kind of fakery. You just use the raw brutality of political power. That's because all the organs, not some, not even most, but all the organs of the society are under your control. And in a sense, the population becomes against you completely defenseless. If aches and pains are your problem, Relief Factor is your remedy. Debbie and I started taking Relief Factor a couple of years ago. The difference we've seen in our joints, nothing short of amazing. Aches and pains are totally gone thanks to this 100% drug-free solution called Relief Factor. Relief Factor supports your body's fight against inflammation. That's the source of aches and pains. A whole bunch of people who try Relief Factor become regular customers. They order more because it works for them. Debbie's been able to do exercises now that for a long time she wasn't able to do, so Relief Factor's been a huge game changer for her, her aunt, other members of our family, Mike here in the studio, and for many other people. You too can benefit. Try it for yourself. Order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF to find out more about this offer. The number again, 800-4-RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. Feel the difference.